So have you noticed all the kind of going on in the world and the negativity and the unrest and all of the just stuff going on that doesn't feel nice and makes us not feel nice? And wouldn't it be nice to do something about that? I personally think it would be great to stop feeding that bear, which is why I created this video today. So today we're going to learn about alignment and what that means in terms of leaning into love so that we can start to experience less of that and more things that make us feel better. Hello, fabulous. I hope today is treating you kindly. And if it isn't, I think we can do something to support you with that. Today, we're going to talk about leaning into love, what that means, and how to do it. So, I've noticed, and I'm sure you have too, that there's a lot going on right now. Energy wise, there's a lot of stuff getting stirred up. There's a lot of things going on in the religious and political environment, and there's a lot of social unrest and a lot of things. And we're not really going to talk about that, but we are going to talk about the impact that that has, because there's a lot of people that I love dearly who are making themselves just bonkers over everything going on in the world. And I hate that. I mean, I have built my entire career on meeting people where they are. And in a lot of cases, it's been in the absolute worst place possible, like meeting them at their worst, loving them as they are, and supporting them into moving into a better situation, whether that's a better future or just, a better present. So I want to do that with you today. So we're going to talk about kind of what that looks like. And what we're going to start with is just being aware of the sensations in our body. So I'm sure that recently you've probably had a trigger of some variety, something that makes you not feel great within your being. And we're just going to notice that. Maybe it was a Facebook post or a comment that somebody made or something that happened at work or something that just, it kind of prickles a little bit. It just doesn't feel nice. And just take a moment and notice where that feels in your body and kind of what experience you have, what emotional response you have. So like for me, whenever I see somebody I love to pieces making a bunch of commentary, like really, and it's obvious they're really upset about it. And I feel this tightness in my chest, in my throat. And I'm just like, like when you watch, kind of like when you watch a train wreck or a car accident happen, you're like, that sucks for you. I hate that so much. Like, I love you so much. I'd rather you not experience that. So that's how it feels for me. And then I have two choices at that point. I can either stay in that space of feeling for that person, or I can shift my focus. So it's all about what we choose to look at, what we choose to align with. And all alignment really means is just paying attention to your preferences. So if you prefer to like get on social media or engage with specific individuals that believe something differently than you, and those interactions and engagements are upsetting, then you're making the active choice to be upset. But if you're engaging in social media or people in places and something just happens to come up that you find upsetting, but then you can decide, okay, I notice I'm upset. Maybe I need to disengage or not participate in whatever this is. It doesn't deserve my energy. It doesn't deserve my attention. I can actively choose something else and kind of disrupt that chemical action we got going on in our brains that we talked about in some of our emotional sessions recently. And it might just not be that deep. Maybe it's not worth feeling icky over something that maybe you don't have a lot of control or influence over. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of this leaning into love. So part of the way that we do this, and one of my favorite activities to do in supporting people in making that shift, voluntary shift from the to things that feel much better and much more aligned, that moving into love, is what's called a negativity inventory. And I love this exercise because it kind of lets people have carte blanche to just be as negative as they want. And there's nothing wrong with it, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling how you feel or expressing how you feel or any of that kind of stuff. The biggest thing for me is that if how you're feeling is having a negative impact on you, which then has a negative impact on others, that's not what you want. You deserve better than that. And so do the others around us. So sometimes it's helpful to just kind of pay attention to where we are with that kind of stuff. So let's say that you see something and it upsets you. Okay, you take note of that, how it's feeling in your body. And then the next thing that you do is you write it down. You just write down a list of all the things in your negativity inventory, all the things that get an emotional rise out of you, that don't feel good in your body, all the things that maybe start arguments or fights between you and people you care about, or maybe even you and people that you don't care about, like people you don't even know from Adam. Like maybe you're making a comment on social media about a video or a post that you see and you get upset about it. And so you like, blah, right. And that's fine. You can still do that. What I'm asking is to pay attention to how it feels and then notate, oh, this is part of my negativity inventory. I see this, I feel this way. It feels like this in my body. This is how I respond. And then just pay attention to that. Then the cool thing about negativity, literally just get it all out. Just write it all down. No one's going to look at this. This is not a judgment thing. This is just for you to just pay attention to all of those little triggers that upset and cause, frustration and all of the things that frankly you don't deserve. You deserve so much more than to feel icky over stuff that frankly maybe isn't even that important. Now, this is not to belittle anyone's beliefs, and know that we're not in alignment with each other all the time. So everyone's preferences are not always yielding or moving in the same direction. And that's okay. All I'm saying is it's okay to be where you are with whatever you've got going on. And it's okay for other people to have their experiences too. You can love somebody enough to honor their choices, even if they're not the choices that you would make. So once we've completed this negativity inventory, what we're going to do is we're going to observe that list, and each one, item by item, we're going to pay attention to, again, those physical sensations, bring those to mind, really pay attention to how we feel in our body, and then write down what you can do about it. So maybe there's not something you can do about it. Like if you and your neighbor, for example, get into a debate about, pick a topic, and it makes you feel icky in your body, and literally every time you engage with this neighbor, you just have this yucky interaction, then what can you do to change that? Maybe that's on your list. Maybe you don't engage with that neighbor. Maybe you're just not available for that. Maybe you just say, hi, I hope you have a good day. Move on. Don't even allow the conversation to start. Or maybe you pay attention to different things on your social media as opposed to the things that upset you. Maybe you just, as they say, keep on scrolling because you see something you don't like, just keep on scrolling. Because what you'll find, especially on social media, is the more that you comment or react to certain things like that, you're going to get more of that because the algorithms work in such a way that they're paying attention to what you're paying attention to. So it'll give you more, right? And we don't want more of that stuff. If it's on our negativity inventory list, we don't want more of that. Where your focus and your energy goes, that's where you're going to get more flow. That's the kind of thing that you're going to empower in your life. And that's maybe not the direction we want to go, which again, leaning into love. What are the things that you love? What are the things that make you feel supported? What are the things and the interactions and the people and the places and the things, where do you feel most like yourself, your best self? And that's what you do with your list. You just kind of shift it over to something you prefer. So it doesn't even have to be something positive. It could be something less awful. Like, I hate taking out the trash, but I hate doing the dishes more. All right, cool. That's something you can add to your list. Something that is better on whatever incremental scale you choose to use than the thing that's on your list. And then you can slowly start to shift that focus over from the to the, hey, this is cool. I feel aligned with this. This feels more like me. This feels more like me as my best self. So we're going to lean into love. We're going to begin to notice in our body all the places where we feel whenever we get triggered by something, whatever that something is. And then we make our list of all the things that we don't like, icky stuff we got going on. And we're going to pay attention to what we can do to change it. Because there's always something you can do. You always have that power of choice. Always. If you can't change the situation, maybe you can change how you respond to it. And that's power. That's where the power is, my friends. And you have so much more power than you realize. You deserve all the wonderful and amazing things, and you deserve to live a life that is aligned with you being your best self. You deserve that. And so does everyone else who engages with you. So I hope that this has been helpful. Do be sure to pay attention to the feelings, drink your water, because you definitely want to flush all those things out. And be kind to yourself in this experience. We're not all going to get it right, and that's not even the point. The point is to just become more aware, to have those experiences that bring us closer to who we are at a soul core level. And while we're talking about it, I definitely recommend, as we're kind of shifting into this space, leaning into love, check out my video on body appreciation. That definitely does a lot towards shifting into love. And there'll be more opportunities coming up here in the very near future. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification button too, because that really helps me kind of let you know when new content is coming out. And commenting and sharing is definitely beneficial as well, because it helps me to create content that best meets your needs, because ultimately this channel is here to serve and support you. So thank you, with glitter on it, for spending time with me today. I very much appreciate you. You take care of yourself and have a sparkly rest of your day.